I was feeling like I was trapped inside of the house, and the negative thoughts started running rampant, and it got me angry at God, and I just had to do something about it. When you're in these states of mind, negative states of mind, you have to do something productive, get yourself out of that state of mind. And so, I decided to come outside. We outside. But I want y'all to know, you are blessed and highly favored by God. Whenever I get discouraged and walking this path, this narrow path, trying to do right by God, I am constantly reminded of the Psalms. It's like Psalm 130 something, 140 something. But it goes like this: the number of good thoughts, the number of good things that God has in store for you outnumber the grains of sand that are on the beach. And it's important to really think about these words, because take a handful of sand and look at every little speck of grain of sand in your hands. It's impossible to count the number of grains of sand that you alone hold in your hands. And God says the good thoughts, the good ideas, the good plans that He has for you outnumber the number of sand, grains of sand that are on the beach, the entire beach itself. And it's a very encouraging psalm. I encourage y'all to look it up. But you are blessed and highly favored by God. And when you are blessed and highly favored by God, a lot of people around you are going to want to take advantage of this fact. You're a kind person, you're loving, you provide immaculate vibes, and people want to be a part of these vibes. But there are some people who are very well aware that you are blessed and highly favored, and they want to keep you around them so they too can be blessed and highly favored. They are basically siphoning off your blessings from God Himself. These could be friends, family, it doesn't matter who. But the specific scenario that came to mind when I was thinking, or when I came to this realization, was parents have kids just so that they can be favored by God. And it goes like this: as children, we are pure, we are innocent, we are closer to God than anybody else. And for parents who are aware of God, who God is, aware of religion, people who've accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior, they are very well aware of how this world works, of how God works. And they are very well aware of the fact that God takes no prisoners. They are very well aware of the fact that vengeance belongs to God. And they are even more aware of the fact that karma is very real. And whatever you dish out to anybody, it will come back unto you 7, 10, 99, 1,000-fold. And let's keep it real. Some parents are just evil. Even if they serve God, even if they follow religion, go to church, etc., these people, these parents, they still commit wicked acts, especially against their children. And they're not outright wicked acts. They're more mental, manipulative acts. They'll teach their kids about God, teach them to do right, but in teaching them to do right, they're manipulating their kids to basically serve them. And Of course, when you're a kid, you don't really realize these things, but the older you get, the more you realize, yo, my parents have just been using me my entire life. Of course, they'll do good, they'll provide for you as they should, but there's no denying the fact that your parents have committed wicked acts against you. Now, this is not the fact for everybody. Everybody's parents is different. But I'm talking to a specific group of people. These parents, they serve God. They claim to serve God. They think they serve God, but they commit wicked acts against their children. But they teach their kids the good side of who God is. And their children learns to love God. And their children learn to love God. God blesses them kids. God favors them kids. We are pure and innocent. And parents know this. So when these kids know God and are favored by God, the favor that God blesses these kids with, the parents inherit it in a way. They are close to their parents. And so them being close to their parents, even despite the wicked acts that their parents commit against them, the kid is getting blessed, but they're so close to their kids that the parents also get blessed. Some parents will do their best to keep their kids as close to them as possible. And they'll do whatever they have to just to keep their kids close. You could be in your 20s and your 30s, hell, even in your 40s, and you still reside with your parents because they're encouraged it. Some of them, they have their own issues. They have problems letting go. But I'm talking about a specific group of parents. And I'm talking about the parents who are siphoning God's blessings upon their kids from them. Now, these parents think that they can outsmart God. They think they can avoid karma by keeping these children of theirs who are blessed and highly favored by God close to them. They think that if they can keep their kids close to them as possible, then they too will be able to avoid God's wrath and be blessed as their kids are blessed. And this is simply not the case. Can nobody outsmart God? God is an all-knowing God. Our God is an all-knowing God. Can nobody outsmart him? But some people think they can outsmart God. And so we know that nobody can outsmart God. Nobody can outplay God. God is the ultimate player. And so they only delay the inevitable. And when you delay the inevitable as much as you can, when the inevitable arrives, it will come in a wave that you would not expect. As I said, it could be 9, 10, 1,000-fold. 9, 10, 900, 1,000-fold. But it does not matter. You cannot avoid God's wrath. You cannot avoid karma. What you have done will be bestowed unto you. And nowadays, I'd be highly discouraged because I feel like I'm surrounded by people who are simply siphoning off my blessings. And I do be angry because it's as if I lead others to a treasure that I myself cannot possess. But I know that it's all a matter of time. Vengeance does belong to the Lord. And again, the amount of good plans that God has for me outnumber the number of grains of sand that are on the beach. And that gives me hope. That gives me faith. It helps with faith. This faith itself is a test of endurance. And so I endure. I just want y'all to know that everything shall come to pass. Karma is very real. And most importantly, you are blessed and highly favored by God. That is, if you are doing good to others, doing good to yourself, and most of all, doing right by God. Knowing and accepting Yahshua, who we know as Jesus, as your Savior. I am a man who fears missing out on salvation, and I feel like that's a fact that God exploits. When I came onto this earth, He knew that I was someone who feared missing out on salvation. And so He picked me for this job, for this mission. Because I'm not trying to do wrong by Him, God. I'm not trying to do wrong by Him. I'm trying to get it right, you feel me? And so, God's exploiting that. And I can't be mad because, again, the number of good plans He has for me outnumber the grains of sand on the beach. Stay blessed, family. I pray that y'all have a great day.